Hey there, good looking. I invite you to join me in this short stretch session. Now listen, I have chosen some of my favorite stretches, and within those stretches, I've layered onto them so that we hit even more areas of the body. Because listen, when you're over 40, having flexible muscles and mobile joints is so important for both the health of your workouts as well as your day-to-day living. Now, if you're doing this in real time, this is also day 17. So it's our recovery day of the Strong and Sassy Challenge. So challengers, perhaps pair this with a walk to help reinvigorate yourself to finish the challenge strong. The only equipment you need, which is totally optional, is a chair or a bench. I'll definitely show you how to do a couple of stretches without those if you don't have them available. All right, let's go get started. Hi there. Okay, we're going to start with a hip flexor stretch, hitting into that front of the hip, left knee on the mat, right leg, ankle slightly ahead of the knee, and then lunge forward to line them up. From here, we can further get deeper into the hip flexor by performing a bit of a pelvic tilt and tightening that left glute, and then extending the spine. This can be a very tight muscle and a lot of people causing havoc into the hips, low back, even quite possibly into the knees. Now take the arms in front with this left arm. I want you to rotate while we stretch into that hip flexor, work into the T-spine, another tight area on us as we get older. We'll do 8 of these. Now as we bring that arm behind us, make sure this front leg is strong. We're not swaying that knee joint, it's staying strong over the ankle, lined up with that second toe. Last one. Right hand down, left arm extend, side bend. Extend the spine further, leaning back, stretching side of body. TFL, hip flexor. Couple more breaths here. Bring it back to center. Left arm, let's circle it behind the body, nice and slow. Articulate through that shoulder joint. Beautiful. Other leg. Here we go. Left leg ahead, ankle slightly ahead of the knee. Lunge forward to line the two up. Now remember our cues here. Tuck that tailbone under. Squeeze that right glute. Extend that spine. Feel the stretch now. Right hip flexor. Bring the arms in front. We're going to keep that left knee strong. Rotate the right arm. Last 2. Left arm down, inhale, right arm straight up, exhale, lean away. And we're extending back a bit more. Maybe lunge into a bit deeper. This is the stretch I'm always craving when I'm on a plane. I can just feel my hip flexors getting tighter and tighter with every altitude change and mile traveled. And they do. They really tighten up with any prolonged sitting activity. Actually, how can you call sitting an activity with any prolonged sitting? Now come back to center, so we're not leaning away, and now slowly circle that arm behind you. Articulate now through that joint. Bring yourself forward. Posture, chain of the body now. Bring the hands slightly ahead of the shoulders. Wrists are lined up with the shoulders, so they're not wide. Fingertips spread. Tuck the toes under. Drive the hips up. Downward dog. Now when you do this, I want you to bring the elbows in a bit so they're not flaring out. You're strong in the shoulders. Push the hips back. Ears are coming beside the biceps. Your feet are in a straight line. Heels may or may not be on the ground. And then we're pushing the hips up, lengthening hamstrings, calves. And then pushing the body through the arms, getting into the arms, side body, T-spine. Now let's slowly pedal our feet, dropping your left, lifting your right, and then vice versa. So this will hit the calf a little deeper, and perhaps now you can work the heel to the ground. Four more. Both heels to ground, sit it back, advanced people. Take that right hand now, grab on to your left ankle, hold. Maybe grab on the outside, see if you can pull a bit more. Release that hand, left hand grabs onto ankle outside and hold. Or hold your downward dog. Knees slowly lower to ground. Sitting back on your heels, or cross-legged, whatever feels best for you, or heck, even on your chair, all right? Mirror me, take the hand behind the back, palm facing away. Bring the ear to the shoulder. Feel the stretch into your traps and side neck, and maybe encourage that stretch to go a little deeper by gently pulling the ear to the shoulder. But again, being very gentle and mindful. As we breathe, we're trying to bring those shoulders away from the earlobes. Maybe closing our eyes and just enjoying that pull on the side of the neck. We carry a lot of tension here. Now keep this arm behind you and let's turn the chin in towards the armpit. Replace the hand more in the back of the head and push the chin towards the opposite shoulder. Right into the armpit almost. Now we're hitting an area called the levator scap. A little muscle that attaches at the top of the neck into the clavicle and can cause a lot of tension headaches. Now keep that hand behind the back and let's just bring everything to center. Okay, now I want you to look over this shoulder, looking up and over, stretching into the scalings inside of the neck. Back to center, now look the other way. So it's looking over the shoulder and then up. Release. Other hand behind the back. Let's do the other side, ear to shoulder. This may be enough of a stretch or maybe exactly where you want to be right now. If you want to intensify it, gentle pull. Chin stays centered, shoulders away from those ears, and breathe. Lift the hand up, bring the chin in towards that opposite armpit, and now hands in the back of the head. Feeling a different sensation. Still into the neck, but also feeling it in that top side of the shoulder. Release. Let's get this arm down. Keep the other one behind. Now I want you to look over that shoulder and then up. And center. Look over the other shoulder and then up. And you can even guide by gently pushing on that outside of the jaw. Release, moving down to the front of the body here, into the pecs. Bring the arms in a T position, lined up with the shoulders, palms are down. Lift the left leg up, roll onto the right arm, and plunk this left foot behind you. Bring this left hand push into the ground, rolling onto that back arm. Now we want that back arm shoulder lined up with the shoulder or slightly below it. Don't have it above. And we're stretching into the arm and into the pec on this right side. Two more breaths. Back to center. Left arm extends. Make sure it's shoulder height, or like I said, slightly below. Let's pick up that right leg now. Roll onto the left. Right foot plants behind. Slide that right hand in. Push into the ground. Rolling back onto that arm. That left arm some more. A notoriously tight area in people. Your pecs, anterior deltoid. Back to center. Using our chair bench, we're getting into T-spine. You can do the same thing if you don't have access to a chair bench by placing your elbows on the ground and then letting your chest drop to the ground and listening to my cues there after. Otherwise, get your chair or bench right in front of you. Elbows resting on top, and let's drop ourselves back a bit, but it's more chest coming to the ground and then bum coming to the heels. Now, if you start to feel this in your low back, I want you to tighten up the core and kind of tuck the tailbone under a bit. So here, we're getting some spinal extension in that thoracic area, that T-spine. So important after the age of 40. We really start to lock up in that area. And unfortunately, we need that area to be mobile to do a lot of our everyday activities as well as our weight training exercises. So keep breathing. You'll also feel a stretch into the triceps. But the whole idea is bringing the chest down, not sitting back onto the heels. 2 more breaths. And release. Using the chair for some support, you can definitely do this just on the ground with your feet planted. Otherwise, bring your legs on top, extend your left leg, and just get into a very gentle and yummy hamstring stretch. So if you have no chair, your right foot would just rest on the ground. I invite you to just kind of settle in, close your eyes. We've got 2 poses using being on the back here, so you can just let go, focus on the breath, feel the ground behind underneath you. And now let's bend the knee a bit more and pull in a bit more. You're going to get a different sensation into the hamstring. Release the left. Let's bring the right. Knee is soft, pulling in until you feel the stretch without any shaking or vibrations in the leg. Having that back of the neck long. And now let's bend the knee a bit more and pull in a bit more. Once again, creating a different sensation in the hamstring. Now place just the right foot on the outside edge of your chair and cross your left ankle over for supported figure 4. If you don't have access to that chair, you can pop your foot up on a wall or simply just bring your hands behind that right thigh. But sometimes just having the assistance really allows you to just kind of relax and enjoy it. So you can wiggle your bum closer to your chair if you want more of an intense stretch. The closer your bum is to wherever you have that foot anchored, it's going to intensify it. And here you don't have to worry about holding onto the leg with the arms. The arms can just relax down beside you. Palms up, fingertips curled. And then if you want more of a stretch, as I said, you can just kind of walk the bum in towards that chair and hold. Two more breaths into this left hip. Left leg releases. Maybe we need to shoot back a little bit to give some more space for this right leg to cross over. We've got this left knee lined up at the outside of the left shoulder. Foot supported on a chair, bench, or wall, or hands behind that left thigh. See if you can wiggle the bum in a little closer, or if you're using your arms, pull the knee in towards you a bit more. And either release the legs so they're straight on your mat, or bring the legs so that both of the calves are resting on top of your chair. Arms are down by your side, fingertips up. Fingertips curled. Relax in that lower body. And I'll leave you here. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. Nothing is required for equipment. However, if you do have a chair or a bench, grab that. I'm going to be using it in the main screen, but I'm not going to have a secondary screen. Never mind. Scratch that. Hey there, good looking. If you want to stretch out all the tight areas, join me for this stretch session. I'm going to review some of A chair or bench is optional for this use, and you'll probably want to oh my goodness me. And if you're watching this in real time, this is day 16 of your strong and sassy challenge. So listen, challengers, pair this up with a walk. I just want you to know that this is a lot harder than it seems. So that is my excuse.